welcome back to another episode of NFT Artist Spotlight, hosted by AstroZero. Please like this video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks.
Today on AstroZero Twitter Spaces, we have a very special NFT project that brings a ton of positivity, flashy artwork, and a great message to the Polygon network and community. My friends, Spooky Fresh. So welcome to the show, guys. I appreciate you taking time out of your day, talking with our community, and letting us know a little bit about your project. It's a very interesting one, and I'm glad to have you here with us.
Well, thank you for having us. We've seen you in the halls, the Twitter space halls, and just always exciting to be able to speak and be on this platform with you. Rich and I and the team and Luke, we know that this is about community, and just being able to share our story with the community is exciting. So thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, thanks again. Can you tell me a little bit about your vision as far as this project goes? And you have kind of a unique element to it that I want to tap into, but just give me the overall view of the project and where you're trying to go and what your vision is before we tap into it a little bit more in depth. What is Spooky Fresh?
So I'm gonna let Rich go. We have a kind of a vibe where he kind of goes and I go, and he goes and I go. So Rich, why don't you share and tell them about the vision of our project and go from there?
Sure. Thanks, Farsi. So yeah, we're Spooky Fresh. We have created a generative series of spirit guides of the metaverse. When we started this project, kind of looking at the space, we really wanted to create an ecosystem that allowed, NFTs to help, one, sustain positive social impact, and two, was like an open community that allowed other artists to be able to contribute to generative art drops. So we designed Spooky Fresh to do just that. The NFTs themselves, they have, the portion of their secondary sales go to the Fresh DAO. Then being a token owner, you can vote on different kind of impact strategies that we will kind of roll out. In addition to that, add kind of a gamification element to the NFTs themselves. We built these as ERC 1155 tokens, meaning that they're composable. So they're really kind of multiple NFTs all within one NFT. And so in the future, we'll be rolling out like a composability dApp, so you can kind of customize and select different layers and edit your NFT. So you're not just, you collect an NFT, it doesn't look the same all the time over, doesn't always look the same. It'll evolve over time. And those layers themselves will kind of evolve to, and the traits themselves will kind of evolve as different kind of impact strategies are reached. So that's kind of like a broad overview. You have anything you want to add to that, Florcy?
No, I think you got it. I think just as you said, it's this idea of like, what's the meaning behind, Spooky Fresh, right? We built a lot of utility, but the meaning really behind it was this idea that we wanted to create a co-creation platform and have a social impact, and we wanted to make it fun. And to make it fun, we thought about making it this evolutionary, composability, gamification piece to it. So really excited about what we set out for.
With the composability, so that's what I'm trying to understand a little bit better. Is that almost like people that sell like wearables in the metaverse, where you could buy, let's say I want to purchase an NFT hat for my Spooky, I would be able to purchase like a cowboy hat to put on it as well? Or am I kind of missing the point here with how that works?
Yeah, no, exactly. You'll be able to collect different layers through, participating in the Discord, by collecting limited edition drops, interacting with the brand and the community to collect those different layers, and also to, purchasing other NFTs. So yeah, exactly.
Sorry, my dog is going crazy right now. She's trying to get down. She's trying to attack the dog. Shush. I'm sorry.
Sounds like she's excited.
Yeah, calm down, please, please, please be a good girl. I'm sorry about that, guys. She usually doesn't freak out during these AMAs. She's usually very well behaved. Stop it, stop it.
I gave my dog a bone. I cheated.
Yeah, she heard something outside, and then I put the window up, and there was another dog out there, and she just kind of flipped out. So relax, relax. All right. So now the social impact that you guys are trying to make with this particular project, did you feel that NFTs were an easier route to go as opposed to other avenues that you could go to make social impacts in the world?
Yeah, I don't know that it's necessarily easier, but just the idea of being able to create an asset that generated revenue for social impact in perpetuity, we felt was an incredibly promising value, incredibly promising utility in an NFT that we were excited to just kind of introduce into the broader community. So we've also done a few other things on the same element, on that same note of how can we create more social impact. And early at the beginning of like in December of last year, we solidified a relationship with a local nonprofit. So we'll be able to this year roll out kind of tax deductible NFTs, which is I think going to be an exciting thing as well. So I don't know necessarily it's easier, but I think that the value that it creates is can't be ignored.
How big is the team that you have working on this project?
So it's about 7 to 11 of us. But I want to add to the last question that you asked.
Oh,
so I started my career as an art gallery owner, and I pivoted into big tech. And I thought that one of the reasons when I went to business school was I wanted to figure a way to leverage technology and really my business acumen to help the art community. And I thought literally when I graduated business school that I was going to go back and work for the Smithsonian and find ways to sustainably fundraise. And nonprofits every year they have to raise their budget for the year. Sometimes they're endowed and they have these big endowments, but the majority, I would say 80% of nonprofits have to fundraise every year to have a budget to run their organization. And so when you think about the power of what smart contracts offer is, revenue and royalties in perpetuity, that's a powerful, powerful, powerful technology. And so for us, when we were building this product, we said, how can we do something very different that's not being done? And what we did was we wanted to center our audiences. And one of our audiences were artists. And the second was the social community, like the nonprofit community, and saying, what problems do they have? And part of their problem is having sustainable revenue coming in. And so for us, we did see it as a great opportunity to make it easier. But love to, just want to throw that in there.
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about having royalties built into these, right? If you do a fundraiser, and let's say your fundraiser is, I'm raising money to do a meet and greet with a particular artist, they're going to sign autographs. People spend $1,000 and they have a dinner with, just throw someone out there, Puff Daddy. All right. Well, you only have that one day that's going to happen. At least with NFTs, you have continuous royalties. So your Genesis collection continues to raise revenue for your nonprofits or whatever you decide to do the fundraisers for forever, pretty much. As long as they keep selling, you're still raising money regardless. And the more that you pump out, the more money that you could raise for it. So it is a smart idea. I think it's really intelligent, as far as how you plan to continually raise revenue for what you're doing. So I think it's smart. And also with NFTs, you have a broader group of people that you could reach out to. Like if you're doing, like I said, just an example, a fundraiser, you're having Puff Daddy, it might only be in New York. So people aren't going to come 600 miles to go to this fundraiser, most likely, unless they're like a super fan. With NFTs, you could, wherever your home base is, you could reach out to people in Cambodia or people in like Vietnam, and those people could help you along with your endeavor. So I think it's just great. I think it's a very smart like business structure that you guys are doing as far as what you're going for. Now with the team that you guys have, Do you have a separate person doing the web design? Is it one of you two that are doing the web design? Who's done the website? Because you guys have one of the most well structured websites that I've seen for any NFT project.
That's awesome to hear. But no, that's all in house. Our founders, Luke, he's our chief UI UX. He's really awesome at it. I do a lot of the graphic design, but all the UI UX is all Luke and us kind of working together. We all come from design backgrounds. Florissy and I both, we both met in grad schools. We both have a dual master's in design leadership. So, we wanted to make sure that the whole website, the user flow was easy to use, and on top of that, the project in itself it's not, it's a little bit more complicated than some of the others. So we've put a ton of time in iterating the website in order to clearly communicate our values and have like a single source of truth there that defined and explained exactly what we are and where we're going.
Yeah, I'm not trying to really like poo-poo on NFT creators, but a lot of people put so much time and effort into their project, and then you go on their website and it looks like something that was made on Geocities or Angel Fire back in like 2002. And it just never makes any sense to me why you can't make your website just as elaborate as your artwork. I think it really shows more um, professionalism as far as your project goes and how serious you are about it. Um, anyone that's not good at making websites and has an NFT project, you could send a hate mail to Dave_Elon1 at Twitter here. But I really think people should put a little bit more time and effort into their website as well, because it is an important part, especially if you have like dApps and stuff on your website where you can move through it.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that. We spend a lot of time in the design, but we also wanted the web app to work as well. And, I've been trying to sing praises to Luke and tell Luke, like, listen, we can have conversations around UI, UX, and the value that a well-designed site brings to a project is something that is not highlighted. You feel the pain when it doesn't work and you don't find the information, right? And the fact that that's one area that we could say confidently that we put a lot of effort into to make it seamless and informative and useful is something that we're very proud of. I wish Luke was here. I hope folks that are like Hip Reap, if you could tag him in the chat and tell him to come in, because he definitely deserves a round of applause for his work. And of course, all the team does, but the website is something we're definitely proud of.
Shout out to my boy Luke. So, all right, let's start talking about the collection here, guys. Now, when I was looking through things, there's a lot of variations, but how large is the entire collection?
So currently what is released is just our Genesis series. So there's 369 NFTs that consists of 3 different spirit forces. So we have, within our genome, we have 18 different spirit forces, and those correspond to the different UN sustainability goals, because again, social impact. And in addition to those, we added the 18th one, which is the Creative Commons. So with our Genesis series, we have 3 spirit forces that were released: time, gravity, and light. And so what you see if you guys go through OpenSeas is 133-ish. I just did the math wrong in my head. 123-ish of each spirit force.
All right. So now the 3 spirit forces that you have it's gravity, light, and time. Is there any difference as far as like rarity between these, or do you pick up different traits through each one, or is there a set amount of traits?
So yeah, each of the spirit forces themselves were gravity was designed. They have different artists, and each of them have their own unique traits that are geared toward that theme. So the gravity, you'll look at, they have a bunch of cool little traits of like falling stars or like a moons and a lot of things that kind of speak to gravity. Same with light. All of them different rarity. So these were generatively created. to have the traits on a bell curve. So we have some super really cool traits. Like my favorite one of all the traits is a gravity trait. It's called birds aren't real, and it's like this little robot pigeon. Because our lore is based around Nikola Tesla, and true story. Like Nikola Tesla was big into kind of the occult, and he would hold these seances to kind of summon our ancestors to aid in the transformation of humankind. And so we've used that as our backstory and kind of pulled Nikola Tesla and his love of pigeons as a key trait, and also all of our spirit forces. So there's a pigeon in every spirit force. But yeah, so lots of different rarities, and they're all pretty fun.
Yeah, I was looking through them. Some of them are really interesting. What made you guys decide to do such a small Genesis collection and make it so like intimate and such a small amount of pieces as opposed to something that would be, people drop 2,000, 5,000 piece initial collections? Is it the amount of time that would take because of the detail and everything put into it, or is it just that you wanted to do something kind of um, kind of a small intimate setting at first when you're introducing the project?
Yeah, so one of the things was we were kind of time driven to wanting to launch on Halloween. And so that was kind of one of our driving forces. And another element I'm going to say now, and then I'll tell you a little bit more about the backstory is, for us, when we started this project, we knew that we were going to have a 5 to 10 year roadmap in terms of how we kind of built out the project. And when we were getting ready to launch, we had originally wanted to launch with 3,333, and there's a lore around the numbers. And because we wanted to use Halloween as our drop date, and we hadn't really built our community, and building our community was something that was really important to us. And we said, listen, and we've been bootstrapping our entire project. We have no VC funding, no big time investors. We've done this all ourselves by contributing funding into this project. We said, let's build it with the community in mind and let them be a part of the decision making of how we build out this project. And so between being driven by the timeline and saying that we wanted the community to be a part of this project from the beginning, we said, let's start with a smaller number. And so we did that. And it's been a bit of an interesting ride. The collectors that we have, about 97 unique owners. I was just looking at some of the numbers. They really, really love our project. They love the art. They get what we're trying to do, and they're committed to it. So it's just been really exciting around the value that we've built by having a smaller collection. Rich, I don't know if you want to add anything there.
No, I think you nailed it. We definitely we with the genome itself, there's quite a lot of NFTs over the course of the entire project. Right, I think if my memory serves me correctly, it's roughly 20,000 NFTs that will be generated across the 18 different species. So there's a long road ahead. But we wanted to test our market fit, gain a little bit of momentum, build some community, and do this really organically rather than just kind of dump a bunch of NFTs on the market and hope they sell. So we took like a safer approach to our launch.
What's been your most successful tool in order to grow your community?
These Twitter Spaces. Honestly, I think that's probably been our strongest kind of growth. We've tried lots and lots of different marketing things, from like paid marketing and all the different NFT calendars and promotion on Instagram, Reddit, you name it. We've done like a test batch just to kind of test conversion rates. But as far as like organic growth, and Florisy can definitely tap in here since this is more of her expertise. But it's really just been coming on shows like this, different AMAs, letting people share our voice and let them know like our vision for the project. And just coming on Twitter really, I think, has been the most useful tool.
My favorite tool is Discord. I love my community, and I feel like, once you meet them, I want to continue talking to them, right? And so I love having them in our channels and finding out what they're interested in, what they think about our project. It's a way to, one, not only um, learn how you can be a better project owner, but it also for us, it's encouraging. Someone just posted in our chat yesterday, actually, that we were the first project that they brought into, and then they actually flipped, and that they're so committed with us to the end. And for us, that is important to hear the value, because we kind of set out to create value, but you don't know if you're having an impact in the community or in the NFT industry if you don't hear from your customers or your NFT holders. And so to be able to have those powerful conversations and get those reviews and that feedback from them in real time is just priceless.
So we're talking to Spooky Fresh, really fantastic NFT project. A lot going on. Just starting to scratch the surface here before we get into a little bit more in-depth questions. Really nice getting to learn these guys. If you guys are in the room and you haven't followed them yet, please follow them on Twitter. Join their Discord channel. Check out their website. You can find it through the link tree on the Spooky Fresh Twitter here. Yes, Sleepy Pirate, do you have a question for the crew?
Can I pin my tweet? I'm joking. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Spooky. I learned tons of things from her, and yeah, make sure to be here and listen to her words. And she just sent me a, document for how to improve my Discord and onboard people to my Discord. And yeah, that's amazing. I totally forgot about it, and she just did. And I want to give a shout out to Elon One here because he doesn't have a co-host. He's so brave. You might get drugged, my man. And thank you for having me. I will be listening to you.
Sometimes you just got to be confident and you go without the co-host, my friend. I'm ready to sail some rough waters. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. Can I quickly respond to Sleepy? Is that okay?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, I want to acknowledge Sleepy and say thank you, and you're welcome. But I also want to say that, the thing that he's talking about a couple weeks ago, or maybe about a month ago, Dave, who's actually sitting to my left, he invited me to be a part of the Polygon community show on the weekends, and I committed to coming on Sunday. And every Sunday we pick a topic that's in the NFT space and we dissect it. And so we've had conversations on how to spot a good project, how to build your Discord, marketing 101. We're going to be talking about tokenomics. And the why for me, why am I doing this and spending so much time helping the community when I could just be focused on my project is I believe, one, when we help each other, right, we bring more attention to the Polygon community with better quality projects, and we can learn from each other. But two, we rise the tide for us all. And so I am committed to giving back because in true transparency, Rich taught me everything I know about NFTs. We sat for 6 months every day for an hour just talking about the ecosystem. And so this is my way of kind of giving back to what was given to me. And so Sleepy, the community, and Dave, just thank you for all that you guys have done, one, coming and participating, but two, creating the platform for us to be able to learn together and grow. When we say it's early, we really mean it. It really is early. And 5 years, 10 years from now, we're going to be all rock stars and millionaires and like, yo, you remember it back when, And so just want to kind of throw that out there and invite people to be part of attending the show. But yeah, so just wanted to call that out.
It is true. Like by helping each other out here, where you're inherently helping yourself without even realizing it. Because I tell you, I met some really great people, like just in these Polygon spaces, talking to people, and everybody's willing to help each other. Everybody got each other's backs, and nobody really when how do I say this right? Nobody really like acts selfish. Like everybody wants everybody else to win before themselves. It almost seems, which is you don't really see that anywhere else. Like I've been in other spaces, and it's kind of like a free for all, every man for himself. When it's not at all like that with Polygon, and I don't know, it's just crazy, like the community that we have and how strong it is, and how we all, try to pull each other up when somebody's down. Especially like the other day with the whole OpenSea thing. You know, like a lot of people were really upset, and what did the leaders in the community do? They ran spaces around the clock to make sure everybody felt better. So you're not going to get that anywhere else. So I'm glad to be a part of this community. I feel proud that I'm a part of this community, and I'm really excited to be a part of it with the rest of you guys. So I don't know if Dave has anything to say about that, because Dave is probably the most selfless person I've met in the entire NFT space.
Thank you, Dave. Just that my drive individually in all of this, for anyone that's not aware, is to give everyone the chance to prosper. Too many times I've had that taken away from me. And Beluga, David on one, Spooky, Sleepy, so many other people throughout this community, some that are in here, some that aren't, have got exactly the same drive. That's all I want to say on it. Thank you.
All right, so going back to the project, because I don't want to get all like huffy puffy and crying with you guys. We're here to talk about business right now, people. So you guys are planning on getting your project put into the metaverse. How are you going to go about doing this exactly?
It's a good question. Yeah, we're actually currently right now working on our finalizing our plans for, I guess, season 2 for the release of our next batch of NFTs. And they are spirit guides of the metaverse, and there are a lot of different directions that we can go with it, but we don't have that answer yet. I wish we did, but there are different things that we have looked at. I guess we can discuss some of those. I mean, one of the things I've seen several other projects do is kind of look at kind of fractionalized ownership of NFTs themselves, and building communities around collecting, fractional ownerships of a collection of NFTs. I think the same thing could go. I think there's would be a lot of value in doing the similar thing for, fractionalized ownership over a collection of metaverse real estate. So that's something we've looked at, but once you actually own some land in some of these metaverses like Sandbox, Decentraland, then you could actually start producing NFTs and content within that metaverse. So since we have such a large number of NFTs we want to produce over time, and these different spirit guides themselves, those spirit guides, those different spirit forces, rather, they can exist in different realms. And so, as an example, we could buy some property in Sandbox and then create an avatar project that's exclusive to the Sandbox as a way to help, diversify the NFTs that we're creating, while adding, value back to the community. So we don't actually have 100% answer yet. I don't want to give any wrong, give any bad advice or give any bad intel there, but we plan to kind of solidify our plan for season 2 in the coming weeks. We'll have some more information then.
Now, maybe it's a little bit of a technical question, but would you be able to put portions of your collection into different metaverses? So, for example, would you be able to put Gem 1 into both Sandbox and Decentraland, or would it have to be strictly designated to one or the other?
So yeah, that would be. I think you're going to have to make sure you're following in lines with one, like, I don't know. I think Decentraland and Sandbox have different kind of art direction, whereas Sandbox is more voxel based. I'm sure there's a creative way where we can design something that exists. I don't know. That's a good question. And maybe somebody else out in the audience has an answer to that. But yeah, I don't know.
I was just trying to get Bitbeard up here. I think he left, though.
Yeah, it looks like that was a Sandbox project.
Yeah, I was trying to get him up here, but I guess he felt like he didn't want to come up. Yeah, Sleepy, go ahead.
I don't know if I'm the person to inform you, but in Sandbox, I am also trying to create a game for Sandbox. You have to make your pieces with I mean, with a border and with some rules, and you gotta only create voxels. So if you wanna use Sandbox, you have some rules, and maybe you can do in all different platforms. But yeah, for Sandbox, you gotta make some, oh my god, I couldn't find the words. Sorry, I'm rambling.
That's all right.
Yeah,
So,
I think they all have slightly different art directions. So we would probably have to have a different spirit force or a different collection kind of released in each one of the metaverses.
okay. I was just curious how that works. I've never incorporated an NFT project into the metaverse, so I wasn't sure how you would actually go about that. If you could like cross into other metaverses and stuff like that, like you could do cross chain and stuff like that. Just a technical question. So let's go into the benefits that holders of your NFTs get. What are some of the benefits that you award your holders with?
Go ahead.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So one of the things, number one, we want to give you access to a wait list for future drops. I think that's important. We also give frequent like artist raffles and airdrops within our community. We actually did that over the holidays. We had two. We had one specifically for NFT holders where depending on how many spirit forces or NFTs they had, they got a handcrafted unique spooky, which was really dope. We have exclusive roles in Discord as well as exclusive channels just for NFT holders where we get to share. They have opportunities to vote on some of the decisions that we make as an organization. When we say that we are, community led, we really believe that we are very, very transparent. With our community. And so there are a lot of times around our project roadmap or, strategic decisions that we bring to the community. They have access to beta drops as well. And again, like I said, the early access voting to our community DAO that we hope we can be able to launch sometime later this year.
Do you have like a separate private Discord set up for your holders that they could access that the general public who doesn't hold one of your spookies has access to?
So in Discord, it gives you the opportunity to have different channels in different rooms. So it's similar, Discord is similar to Slack. So you could have, 20, 30 rooms designed around different themes, and you can have rooms that have special rights. And when I say rights, I mean access rights and permission rights. So we have a couple, one just for the team and the founders and the leadership team to have discussions that are just private rooms. But then we just have one or two specifically for NFT collectors, our NFT collectors specifically. And they can use, I forget what the name of the collabo, you verify through that, and that tells them that they have one of our NFTs, and it automatically gives them rights to that channel in that room.
Okay, cool. When I look at your royalty breakdown that you guys have on your website, it's 6% royalties that you're going to have here, and it's broken into 3 separate parts. The one that I'm curious about is where it says the artist pool. What exactly is the artist pool, and what is the 1% that's going to it?
I'll let Rich. Yeah, go ahead, Rich. I'll let you take this.
That back to our Genesis artists. Again, we want to be a collaborative project. We aim to be a collaborative project and onboard other artists. So, written into the smart contract, we have that portion of all secondary sales goes directly back to that artist forever. We have 2 different artists for this series, a guy named Will Shanklin and Gave Crane, both just phenomenally talented artists. So yeah, 1% forever will go to our artists.
Okay. Hey, Bitbeard, you're trying to get up here before. Do you have a question for Spooky Fresh Crew?
Hey, yeah, no, I was just curious on what if they had do you have like a criteria for metaverse projects that you'd like to partner with? Or sorry, I don't mean to be ignorant, and I just kind of hopped in here now, so maybe I'm a little behind. I just kind of caught the part where you were mentioning wanting to be a part of Sandbox and branch out to other metaverses. So I'd love to have a chat with you maybe after this, because my team and I, we're launching our own metaverse, and I think we're the first one to have person-to-person transactions in a 3D world. So that means people that have your NFTs will be able to like meet one another in our metaverse and like trade them in some sort of manner that's more personable. So maybe we should sit down and have a chat after if you're down.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. We're totally down to have a conversation. You know, we aim to be collaborative and work with other people that are helping build the entire ecosystem, not just work with Goliaths like, Sandbox and
Yeah, and that's kind of what we want to do too. Like, there's so many amazing small NFT projects that either they just didn't quite, maybe they made one little mistake and then everything went to shit for them, or there's a lot of little projects that were so good that just didn't quite make it, and we want to partner with people like that and just have one big area where everyone can communicate and really get to know each other. So that's kind of what our the AR zone is going to be. So we'd love to talk with you guys about a partnership.
yeah, definitely send us both an invite and let's set up a meeting and have a chat.
Sounds
Yeah,
good.
that's all about. We're making collaborations as we speak. Yeah, thanks, Beer, for coming up. I really hope that your platform you're saying in metaverse transactions. I hope it has something to do with the fucking phone boop, man. Because we were talking about these phone boops before, and I'm all about the phone boop.
Oh, I missed that part. I'll have to listen. Is this being recorded? Oh, it is. Perfect.
Yeah. All right, so going back to the project. Now, royalties from the project, they're going to be donated to social impact causes. Are there any specific ones that you guys have in mind? I know it says that the DAO is going to be able to pick, but is there like a list that the DAO picks from? Does the DAO come up and suggest one, and then people second it, and they have kind of a voting system to make that like a nominated project that they might want to donate money to? How are you guys going about figuring which specific social impact causes that you're going towards?
Well, to start, we just kind of have to set a precedent. And so to start, we have a collection of different nonprofits that we've all been affiliated with in the past. I think to begin with, it's kind of working toward, one, restorative justice, and then two, supporting different arts. Specifically, how can we contribute to nonprofit organizations that also could potentially help build Web3 space. We have a local partner, which is the Maryland Art Place, which we're looking at developing a project with them over in the next quarter. And it's also like who wants to work with us, like who could we collaborate with that has an interest in being in blockchain in the NFT space that has a nonprofit. We've had various different people reach out to us. Some like marijuana reforms and all kinds of different projects, but we haven't solidified exactly which ones yet. We're just waiting for that investment pool to reach a place where we'll have enough resource to make make a substantial contribution. So, but once that does happen, we have various different DAO tools that people can kind of go on, and if they have an NFT, they can just vote on the proposal, and the winning proposal will execute.
Now, is the DAO kind of weighted by the amount of NFTs that the person has? So, similar to like how governance tokens work. So, if somebody owns 3 spookies, would they get 3 votes as opposed to somebody that owns 1 spooky? Is it weighted like that, or is it just if you own it, you have a vote and that's it?
Yeah, it will be weighted depending on how many NFTs you own. So overall, it's kind of each NFT kind of represents like a fractional ownership in the decision making. So if you have, if you invested and you have 10 NFTs, then inevitably your vote should count for as amount as you are invested into the community.
Okay, I agree. I had brought up into a space the other day. I'm not sure if Spooky was in there. I think you were, where I was saying that when people are doing these charity or doing some sort of donation, it's very important to show proof of that donation, whether it be in your Discord or on your website or something like that, because I think a lot of people they kind of get a, a bad taste in their mouth. I mean, more so, I would say in the crypto community as opposed to the NFT community, because so many tokens were set up as like charity tokens, and they just ended up being like the fucking rug pull of the century. Like there's been ones like for um, COVID relief, and they were rugged. There were ones for like the Shriners Children's Hospital, and they were rugged. There were ones for um, one that's near there to me for alcohol and drug rehab, and rugged. And I think it kind of made a lot of people feel like it's almost like a scam when they hear charity. So I don't know how that is really affecting the NFT community, but for myself personally, because I've been through that and I've been rugged with things like this, if I was a holder, I would like to see that it physically went there. So are you guys planning on showing like proof of the donation through your Discord or through your website?
Absolutely. And
Yeah,
one of
so
I could take this one, Rich. I think absolutely. And, I think you bring up a very valid point, not only just in terms of like the community DAO, but project owners delivering on what they say that they're going to give to their holders. I think is absolutely important. And again, for us, we definitely took the road of we're going to take our time to not build fast, but to build right. And so one of the things when we're thinking about our DAO, our community DAO, we also want to have someone within our NFT community to be able to kind of lead that. So as we said, each one of these are kind of aligned to one of the UN sustainable goals. And so we want to have a chief of freshness, right? Because we know that one nonprofit and community work is local. And so we want somebody that specializes in human rights. We want to focus on someone that focuses on the arts community, that understands what the organizations are that are out there that are doing the real work, right? Because there's also due diligence around making sure that we're selecting the right organizations to receive these funds. But yes, would be 100% transparent. It would not even be us being the ones only selecting the organizations. I think just to get started, we would say, hey, here's some organizations that we have in mind. They have others that they think are better. We're definitely open to the community deciding. And if you come into our Discord, like we have polls, there's only one room really that's, for the NFT culture, the NFT collectors, but the majority of our rooms are open and for folks to see some of the conversations that we're having around our project. And so, yeah, I think that's very, very, very important. But the bigger conversation around trustworthy organizations and project owners is important. And another reason why we are fully doxxed, and you can find us on our LinkedIn, you know who we are. I think that's important as well. And we wanted to make sure that not only that our project aligned with that, the way that we operate aligns with that as well.
Yeah, I just think it's really important that you make sure that people know what you're doing as far as that goes. People do get very salty, and it could completely ruin a project if you don't have proof of something. Even if you go and you do it, if you're completely honest and straightforward and you do it, but then you forget to send a snapshot. I mean, it could screw you up. Now, where was I here? Can you explain to me, because I don't really understand this. I'm not like a super technical like dev or anything like that. What do you mean on your website when you talk about async layers?
so that's kind of a part of the future roadmap as far as the individual layers, but there is a whole marketplace called async art. And for me, it's really, really compelling. It's not as widely used as I'd like to see, but essentially what they've done is they allow individual layers themselves to be able to react to both on and off chain data. So for example, you can have a spooky whose background changes based off of the time of day. So if it's sunny out, the background of your spooky, it's sunny. If it's raining, you can have layers that are only active, or certain traits that are only active when specific, parameters have been set. That could be the cost of the price of a Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin is, 20% up, your spooky is puking coins. Or, if, if like we are seeing now, like the markets tank, then maybe your spooky is super sad. So that's what we mean by asynchronous layers. They're layers that are reacting to, both on and off chain data.
That's pretty cool. I don't know of any other project that's doing that. I like that. It's kind of like, I don't know if you guys remember Tamagotchis.
Yeah,
I might
exactly.
be old for you guys, but it kind of reminds me of like Tamagotchis or Gigapets. How they
Mhm.
kind of react to the mood of how they're being treated, but you're linking it to the market conditions or whatever the case might be. I think that's awesome.
Yeah,
And
yeah. They'll be themed to the different spirit forces, as they each have a different theme already. So, but yeah, that's not something we're currently working on. That is something that we plan to work on in a future drop. But something we're really, really excited about, a key milestone to be able to get to.
Yeah, it's the first time I've seen it. That's why I was kind of curious how it worked, because I saw something where I was reading, it's like it could be tied to the price of Bitcoin. I'm like, I got to ask what this is all about, because I was like, I felt kind of dopey at the time when I was reading it. I didn't understand it, and I always admit when I don't know something. So that's really cool. I really like that. What's the price that you guys are selling your spookies for?
So right now, our secondary sales are, or our sales are, I said secondary. Our primary sales are actually happening on OpenSea. Our price is 0.05, but we actually have two that are 0.045. And we're really excited. I was actually going to do some alpha and do some rarity sniping towards the end, and kind of shout out for folks that are looking to jump in with us, and kind of show them a couple of spookies that are actually super rare that they could potentially grab. But I'll hold off towards the end, or maybe I'll drop it in our Discord for folks that are really interested.
Yeah, whichever you'd like to do. I mean, I actually have a pretty open night tonight, so this could go a little bit longer if you guys want. It's fine if you want to run it a little bit longer and do that. I'm cool with that. Not really on a tight schedule tonight, which is great. So what made you guys decide to go the Polygon route?
So for us, I can go first, and then you can jump in and talk about some of the bigger features, Rich. So a couple of things that we thought about for when we were looking at Polygon. First of all, we looked at Flow. We did an analysis on ETH and Bitcoin and all of the different platforms. And hands down, we were like, one, we want to be environmentally friendly to the community, to the environment. Two, we wanted to not think about gas fees that were absorbent or the equal cost to one of our spookies to our customers. We thought that that was ridiculous. And then three, one of our future utilities, which was really important for us, was the composability feature. And so Polygon was, an easy selection for us when we looked at what are the requirements and the ability and functionality that our NFT would potentially have. What we didn't know, and the bonus that we got from actually coming to Polygon, was that we got a family. We got a really warm community. And so kind of really excited to be in this community, but that was one of it. And at last one, that it wasn't oversaturated, with like no shade to anyone that's on ETH, but like the ETH maxis and that goal. We felt like this community was about the art, was about building and some longevity. And so that was important for us.
Did you have anything, Rich?
Oh, she got it all. I mean, really came down to, environmental concerns. We didn't want to contribute to, any additional problems and carbon emissions. And given that we're building this composable app, as far as like user experience, we didn't want people to have to pay 20, 30, 50, whatever Ethereum gas fees are, just to kind of swap out a layer on their NFT. So we chose Polygon for that. It was close to Ethereum. It gave us all the functionality that we needed to, it's a Ethereum layer 2. So, and it was a place that's like, hey, we can get in here and we can rock it, and we can be, a top project on Polygon, so we'd rather be, a small fish in a big pond, or a shark. And so we chose to aim to be a shark.
I was breaking it down to our community earlier today in our Telegram about the largest Polygon project versus Ethereum. And for one project to just step up, I mean, the highest grossing project is Crypto Unicorns, and it's 2,500 wrapped ETH they sold in total, which if they were wrapped into Ethereum, they would be like 50th on the list or something like that. So it just goes to show you like the growth potential we have in the Polygon community. It's exponential. We don't really necessarily have one of these huge blue chip projects. And I think in a short period of time, my guess, in the next 6 months, we're going to have some huge names on the Polygon network. And Polygon's not something to sleep on.
Yeah,
I mean, sorry. There's already some really big names, like Dead Mouse did a drop on Polygon. A bunch of people are, and it's the same reason they want the utility without the high gas fees. So I think especially once, like, even with Ethereum 2.0 coming out, from my research, it looks like that's really just going to help layer 2 protocols like Ethereum. I'm sorry, like Polygon. And now we have a burning mechanic in the Polygon ecosystem. So as the Polygon price keeps driving up, it's going to keep bringing more and more people. So I totally agree.
Yeah, and I just wanted to add on, there are a lot of big brands that are coming on, and they're seeing the utility and the functionality that Polygon offers, even with Steph Curry, Under Armour. Like, there's just so many big brands. And I think Dave could even speak to this, not to go too far down the rabbit hole, but in terms of the actual value of money that is coming in terms of average sales, it has been growing exponentially. And I want to make sure I have those numbers under my belt, because I remember, thinking like, we're still growing, and no, we're competing and we're thriving.
Dave fell asleep.
No, I'm here, but I really want to hear about Spooky. I mean, June.xyz, guys. Pop it in Google. Go and have a look. Polygon's been growing at about 70 or between sort of 60% and 90% a month for the last 6 months, 7 months since it was dropped in June, to the point where in December it traded at like $78 million in Polygon NFTs for the whole month. The growth's insane, but June.xyz, search it on Google.
So, I don't really consider myself a leader. I just feel like I step up and I try to, give people a hand in here. But as I guess you'd say, community leaders that we have up here, what can we do as leaders in this community in order to bring more awareness to Polygon, and what are we kind of lacking in what we're doing where we could maybe do a little bit better in order to get more attention to our platforms?
So one, and I'll let Rich talk about one, maybe, if I don't know if we're going to share this, but we're working on a secret project. But one is one of the things that, that I'm committed, and our team is committed to doing, once a week, really educating and the community. Originally, we started with just thinking about educating collectors and, how to onboard onto our projects, how to buy, how to convert, Polygon. And reality is it's this larger ecosystem. And so we've been talking about, thinking about how do we help the artist? How do we think about the technical pieces of this? The more people that we get into the space, and being able to share our knowledge and our expertise, the better we are all for it. And, while I'm great at marketing, there are a lot of things that I am not good at yet, right? In terms of like tokenomics and maybe some of the more technical pieces. And so if that's going to be something that inhibits someone from launching a project, how can we share that gift? And I think one of the things that I think we've started, we are part of, is Polygon Alliances, which is a community where, and I think I'll let Dave speak, but Polygon Alliance is coming together, and it just started for just owners, just to be able to ask questions and lean on each other and say, you know what, I don't want to have my own Discord. I want to leverage this Discord, this Discord room. I'm not sorry, my dog is like having a whole thing, but so I think just to recap, educating the community on your expertise. If someone has a question, answer the question, help them the best way you can, point them in the right direction. And then I think what we're doing with Polygon Alliance, coming together as project owners and helping each other answer questions when needed.
Yep, education's the number one goal. At least it is for me, and it's not just educating people; it's educating myself. Because, like you said, I don't know everything. There's a lot. I know a lot less than what I know for sure, but I definitely have open ears. I try to be as active of a listener as possible and try to participate and just try to be like a sponge every day and just even if I grab like one little tidbit of information that I could use, like knowledge is power, especially when it comes to this stuff because it's so new. It's everybody's a teacher here too. Nobody is really like that much further ahead of anybody else. So it's really cool that we all kind of can pick and choose from each other and learn stuff.
Can I add one more thing?
Sure.
The other piece that I'll add, and this is something that Rich has led, is even doing collaborations and partnerships. I think that's important. I witnessed last weekend, not this weekend that passed, but the weekend before, everyone went on. There was Ham's project or Yam's project that the whole community got on board and helped them sell out in a day. I mean, there was some lead up pre-work to it, but that cross marketing and where like, hey, our communities are on Polygon already, they know, but leveraging your network to help another project. I thought that was just such an amazing act of what community really means and really putting community as a noun, an active verb, I should say, was amazing just to see the community come together and just cross market and sell this project out literally within 4 to 6 hours. It was just crazy. And that's ways that I think we can help the community grow.
Yeah, the hype that we build for each other is crazy. Like if somebody says a project's dropping, like everybody's like, it reminds me of when I was a kid and like the newest CD was dropping at the music store and like everybody at school was talking about it and you had to get the Sam Goody before like the other people. And like that happened with Soma the other day when they just dropped their last collection. Like people are talking about it as it's dropping on Spaces. Like Soma just dropped and like everybody's like scurrying over there to try to buy her pieces. So it's awesome. We're hitting towards the top of the hour, so I'm going to hit you with a couple more questions, and then if you want to start doing your sniping, we could do that, and then I guess we'll wrap up. Or if anybody has any questions and wants to come up, we're talking to Spooky Fresh. Make sure you follow Spooky here on Twitter. Join the Discord. Check out the link tree. The website's linked on there. You go on the website, it gives you a ton of information. Like I said, probably the best laid out website I've seen so far in the NFT world. So give a shout out to Luke for me. Tell him that Dave said that he does really awesome work. Now your project is like a lot of spiritual based. Do you guys meditate?
Not as much as I'd like. I do. I have crazy anxiety from my time in the military, so I definitely do. Our artists, however, both Will and Gave, especially Gave, is bit of a guru when it comes to meditation. So he does all sorts of like Meyerhoff or like all kinds of like cool breathing techniques. And I think he meditates probably about an hour a good day. He's the artist that did the light spirit. So I guess we're just a little bit, we're just conscious that, the world isn't necessarily going in a place that it should, and we all need to do something. Part of that is we just need to have a conversation and support projects that are, allowing others to, empowering others to, have those positive conversations.
Yeah, meditation is definitely a powerful tool. I try to do it at least 15 minutes a day, and it gets all the junk out of my head. Whether it's having to pay bills or getting into a fight with my significant other or whatever the case might be, it definitely clears your mind. It's a good form of stress relief. What are your short-term goals. So we'll say by the end of this quarter, your midterm goals, and then your long-term goals, say like a year from now.
Oh, that's a tough question. We were just at a meeting on this today. Forsey, you want to take this one?
Goal number one, align on our goals for the rest of the year. I think we want to look at our long-term goals, to be honest. And, we're thinking about what season 2 looks like. And then I think we're going to work backwards from there. Immediately for Q1, we've tested out, like we've made a huge shift. We wanted originally to start off to do organic marketing, and then we were time boxed with time, and so we shift to paid marketing, and we're back to like organic marketing. Like, we know that this is the way, and so part of doing that is being more in the community. So we're going to continue doing these strategic conversations. We're going to be giving free giveaways to our collectors. We as Rich shared, Gave is an amazing artist, and he's in our artist corner. You can come see some of his work there, and he creates work and drops it all the time. And so we're going to start doing some of those free giveaways, and we're hoping that we can do one maybe on a weekly basis, at least to our collectors. I'm hesitant to say that one of our goals is to sell out, because it really isn't. We are here for the long term. We know that the project is valuable, but we want to start thinking about what this season 2 look like, and really thinking about what are the technical pieces of that puzzle we need to fill in. We want to rebuild our web app and things of that nature. So more organic marketing, rewarding our customers, and thinking about season 2. That's what we're focused on for the quarter.
All right, awesome. Yeah, I guess we'll talk about it briefly. The little bit, I guess it's a big bit, the fiasco that went on with OpenSea this past week, would have that affected your project? And if so, what was your contingency plan if you guys were going to end up getting pulled off OpenSea?
So we actually have a web app, and we took it down because it was a little clunky. It's not that it didn't work, but it was a little clunky for especially some of our friends and family. So we would have probably just gone on there. But I don't think what happened on OpenSea didn't necessarily affect us for 2 reasons. One, we have our own contract, and I think Rich and I talked about this a little earlier today. But 2, I think the community that's most impacted by this are artists, and specifically one-of-one artists who have multiple collections. We only had one collection, and it's only 369. So I think we would have been fine in this particular case. But from a long-term perspective, I think it is important to own your community. Like, you don't want to, this is, the idea of OpenSea being the only place to sell your art is not decentralization. Like, that is the antithesis of what this community represents. And so we do believe in have our own website and our own web app from a long-term perspective, but we really wanted to focus on building our community, and that's why we shifted and putting our collection on OpenSea. But Rich, feel free to add anything that I might have missed.
Yeah, so admittedly, I was getting married in Jamaica, I think, whenever this happened. So I'm not 100% sure on what you guys are talking about. I missed, things move so fast. What happened? You guys?
I got it. Don't worry about it. I got it.
Oh.
So there was this big issue where OpenSea decided that collections that had a certain number, you could only have 5 collections, and I think you could either only have 100 or a certain number within that collection.
50.
And so 50, yes, 50 NFTs so we could have technically been affected. And then I think the second piece of that is that there was conversation around if you don't have your own contract, that OpenSea actually owns your artwork. So that was the 2 that I was aware of. I'd love to hear if there were any other concerns. Yeah, it was a big deal.
Sounds like that might be trying to cut down on spam, but that's just a.
Apparently, that's what their, I guess, reasoning was, to try to cut down. Go ahead, Dave. Fire away.
Yeah, that's what their statement said was spam. I think essentially, we've all seen the copied collections. To the point a report was run where 70% of art uploaded a week in January was a copy of someone else's art. So I just think it was OpenSea doing an OpenSea, which is deciding something very last minute and then implementing a process without actually engaging with anyone that uses their platform to understand what the end implications are. It's not the last time we'll see decision making like this from OpenSea that impacts us, because they're not building a big enough support team in the background to support their platform. They need to get on it and get on it soon. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I think what the biggest issue was, Rich, was the fact that there was no heads up to the people. It was just everybody woke up 5 a.m. Boom, this is what's happening, guys, and that's it. There was nothing like saying, as of March 1st, our platform is deciding to go this route, where it gave people kind of like a little bit of an option, like, all right, I could either stay here and do it this way, or I could go elsewhere and figure it out. There was no vote, nothing. It was just, we're OpenSea, this is what we're doing, and that's that. So, not very cool. Not the way that you would really want a
Yeah,
business
definitely
run.
not. Yeah, we actually had some fraudulent people try to copy some of our NFTs, but a few weeks ago. But fortunately, we were able to get them taken off pretty quickly.
So, is there anything that I might have missed that I didn't ask you guys that you would like to share with the rest of the people here about your project?
I think we covered it all. I definitely want to take a moment to shout out all of our awesome Discord mods, including one here that's Reap. We got a lot of, an awesome, passionate team that's been super dedicated and helping onboard all of our new customers, all the new, collectors into the space. And so, none of this would be possible without, all of their work. And so definitely thanks to all of them. Thanks to Florisy for her constant commitment and coming up here and sharing our story and our vision with everybody. So, and all of you guys, thanks for showing up and listening. So,
Yeah, I appreciate you guys taking the time out and talking to the community. Florisy, I don't know if you want to do a little bit of sniping before we close up. It's completely up to you.
All right, everyone, grab your pens. I just want to say, I'm really grateful for this community embracing us. As we're learning, it's really hard to build as you climb, but it is a fun ride for sure. So, a little alpha. All right, if you got your pen. I was only able to do 2 of the series. So if you look at the names, it's the architect of it is Jen. In Genesis 1, and then it is our spirit force, which is either gravity, which is G, or time or light, and then there's a number. And so I'm just going to give you the letter and the number and the G1. I think one thing you did not speak about before I can go into that is our Kimoji. I know Rich loves talking about our Kimoji. Can we talk about that real quick, and then I'll give you guys the number.
oh God, yeah, how could we have forgotten?
I was going to ask.
I didn't forget. I got you, bro.
Thank you.
I had it on my list of questions, and I can't believe I didn't ask it, but it was on here, and I must have.
So yeah, that is something that is incredibly unique to our project. We are certainly the first NFT project to do this, and hopefully it's not copied. But it's super challenging to do. But every NFT that we create, each individual trait is represented in the name of the NFT that is represented through the form of a Kimoji. And if you look at Spooky Fresh, our tag or our title, there's a Kimoji there. It's like a little Japanese emoticon. So every single arm, every eye, every mouth, every single trait in the genome has its own character. And so when they are produced generatively, it generates that Kimoji in its name. So you can share that. It gives life, kind of gives. It's like a way to like bring life to the NFT, to where like these things exist in multiple forms and multiple formats through, ASCII symbols and like in the NFT form. So so each one of them is unique, and it's just a little added detail we added to kind of make the project even a little more exciting.
How long did it take you to make these for every single NFT?
I tell you, I spent months designing this. Like I spent way too much time. I can't tell you how many meetings where I was just sharing with the team, like, oh my God, check out this cool this new emoji feature I found. Florsey's like, all right, Richard, we gotta focus on some other product roadmap stuff. But I mean months, like several months.
Yeah.
But I think it was well worth it. It's one of my most exciting features of the NFT for me.
It is really cool. Like I think it's almost kind of like a secondary NFT the way these emojis are laid out. But yeah, that must have taken just as long as the art to figure out how to coincide
Yeah,
with the
definitely did.
Yeah, I remember telling him like, Rich, I think we need to move on here. But he spent a lot of time, and for sure, it's one of the things that our collectors love. So if you come into our Discord, all of our names have our name and it has our Komoji. So the whole goal is to be able to use our Komoji as a name because it's all unique and hand done. And also, I think Rich like mapped one to Board It Yacht Club and maybe a couple other projects as well. So like we are looking forward to kind of expanding what this looks like and feels like. Honestly, it's dope.
Now, is that going to be just for your Genesis collection, or are you going to do these throughout the entire collection?
Yeah, the entire collection, like every NFT will have in its name a Komoji.
You like punishment.
Well, it's already done now. So now the rest of it's just, building community and, fortunately I've planned ahead. So we've got probably we've got like 6 Spirit Forces Komojis designed. So we're good to go.
That's awesome.
Are you
So-
guys go? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead, snipe us away, Spooky.
All right, I was trying to like buy some time, but I got distracted. All right, so we have Genesis 1, G44. We have G28. I wrote them down and I wasn't able to keep all the screens open, but the features are either the diamond shoes or diamond hands or the diamond skin. There's like one out there that's the diamond skin, which is I think G28. G99. Gravity is like one of my favorites. I'm not gonna lie. Although I do love light because I do actually practice yoga and I do a lot of hiking. For time, I got T9, I got T98, and we've got T18. And then I have one for light, L49. And we are 3 collectors away from hitting 100. And once we hit 100, we're planning on doing something special. So I'm coming and working on that. Once we get 100, we're going to do a random raffle for our NFT collectors and do something really special for them. That is going to just be such an amazing milestone for us. And we're really excited about that. Right now, our floor is 0.045. There's only 2, and then the majority of our NFTs are 0.05. We have exactly 133 or 136 of them that are available on our Fresh DAO. Please use our official links. Come into our Discord. You can find it there, or you can go to our website. I will ask you not to Google it in OpenSea because these folks are very clever. So please come to our website to get the links. If you want to meet us in our community, just come to Discord. We'll help you. We'll walk you through the process. This has just been an exciting journey for us, and we'll love, 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 love to have you guys be a part of our family.
Well, Rich and Florsey, thank you guys for coming here and talking to the group here and letting us know about your project. It was a lot for me to really kind of take in and try to figure out stuff between the Komojis and the different types of spirit forces. And there's just a lot going on with your project, and I think it's unique, and I really like it. And like I said, a very good first impression from Luke when I went on there. I was super impressed almost immediately when I went to your website and I saw like how professional and everything looked. So kudos to him. thank you so much for coming here, talking to the community. Thank you, Dave, for coming up and co-hosting, because Spooky got me a little bit nervous thinking that I was going to get rugged and the whole space was going to crash. So Spooky Pirate, thank you for humbling me a little bit and making me realize that I'm not Superman. So yeah, I just want to thank everybody also in the crowd for coming out and listening to these AMAs. I really do appreciate the people that come out here all the time and listen to these. Spooky Fresh, check out the Twitter, go on their Discord, check out the OpenSea. You just got some alpha here. There's some really good ones that you guys could snipe on there. Floor price is super affordable. Support a local Polygon artist. And once again, guys, thank you so much. Please don't be a stranger. Come out to the spaces. I think I'm going to be on with it. Are you going to be with us on Saturday with me and Dave? I think I'm doing a tokenomics thing with you guys.
I think we're doing it on Sunday.
Sunday now?
Yeah, bro. Sunday. Sunday's a fun day.
Did I cock the date up? I swear I said the 6th. Did I cock the date up?
You told me the 5th.
I'm going to check.
Yeah, let's
Sunday. We need you to come Sunday. That's my day. I love the educational series on Sunday. And that's when we actually do only educational series. But if we need to work around the Sunday and pick another day, then we can, of course.
No, either day I'm fine. Just let me know which day it is.
100% Sunday. If I said the 5th, I'm really, really sorry.
That's all right. It gives me an extra day to prepare, so I'm okay with that. All right, guys. Well, thank you again for coming out. Please follow Spooky Fresh on Twitter. Hop in their Discord. And yeah, thanks for being a part of the family, guys. I love everybody here. And shout outs to all you guys. And tomorrow I'm taking the day off for once. I will not be here tomorrow doing a Twitter space. I'll probably be in Twitter spaces talking with people. But Thursday we have the infamous Dave and the Crypto Goon Squad coming on with us, and I'm really looking forward to talking to these guys. It will be my 100th AMA that I'm doing. A very special guest for number 100. So looking forward to that. I will see you guys later. Have a fantastic night.